After all that.
Sorry. If you do get any questions in French, you can just use the headphones.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. We are ready to start. We have, for Wales, Warren Gatland and Dewi Lake. We will save the Welsh questions towards the end, and if you could raise your hands clearly, we will get started. At the front, please.
Dewi's been drug tested at the moment, so if he has to go halfway through this press conference, I hope you understand if he feels the need to wee. So.
Warren, 19 points out of 20. You made it top of the pool. Are you where you wanted to be? And now, what are you expecting from tomorrow's game? Or who are you expecting to come out of tomorrow's game?
Oh, I think tomorrow's game is going to be a close game. You know, either Argentina or Japan. Both have different styles. It was a tough game for us today. I mean, Georgia were a really difficult team to beat, and two of the games they were up at half time, and they keep hanging in there. They keep fighting. Got a great spirit as a group, and but even though we weren't at our best, I think we got the job done, and that's a pleasing thing for us to be able to focus on next week.
Anyone particularly want next week?
No, just look, we'll watch that game tomorrow. It's an early kickoff, so we go back to Paris this evening. Boys got a day off tomorrow in recovery, and then we're down to Marseille on the train on Monday afternoon.
Thank you. On the left.
Luca Giorgio, Georgian public broadcaster. Question to the coach. You said that Georgia is a really tough team to beat. About 4 years ago, our main weapon would mainly be scrum and maul. Today, our backline players scored pretty nice tries. So, how would you assess Georgian rugby development?
Oh, it's definitely developed, and since the World Cup in 2019. I mean, they're physical. They run hard. There's a few players. I thought the 10 today caused us a few problems with his footwork and stuff. And obviously a nice try they've scored down the short side, exposed us as well. And they kept trying, and that's what I think as coaches all you can ask for as a team to give everything. Which there's no doubt the Georgian team did that today, and they never gave up. And I think there'll be, hopefully for them, a lot of learnings from today's experience, and for them to get better. Probably what was good for us in the first half was our line-out defence. We got up there and stole a few of their line-outs and stuff that probably didn't help them with their momentum in terms of trying to put us under some pressure. But I thought their kicking game was good. They were good in the air and defended really well.
Thank you. At the back.
Warren, the injuries to Faletau and Ansken, how concerning are they, and what are they?
Toby's broken his arm, so he'll be out, and we're just going to sort of assess Gareth over the next 72 hours, really. So he's pulled his groin very high up, but talking to the medic said he's got a bit of power still in his leg, which is a positive. Means that it's not fully come off the bone. So we'll probably know in the next 48, 72 hours in terms of what we need to do with him, whether we've got time for him to recover or whether we need to make a replacement. Obviously, we've got to look at a replacement for Faletau, whether that's directly as a loose forward replacement or whether we look at another position. We've got a few sore players, particularly in the backs after today's game. If you do see Liam Williams on crutches, it's not that he's done anything significantly bad. He got a whack on the knee, and the medics have just said, just from a comfort perspective, just putting on some crutches will just take a little bit of him having to walk around and stuff. So he's got a knock, and probably won't take a huge part in training. The early part of next week, but hopefully he'll be fit for the quarterfinal.
How big a blow is Faletau?
Yeah, look, he's it was tough for him because he'd pulled his calf and it didn't take a huge amount of in terms of involvement in the camps and the pre-season work, but and that's why we continue to play him, because we know he gets better, game by game, and we felt that he was starting to come back to his best, and he was excellent last week in terms of his footwork and carrying and stuff, and taking kick-offs and giving us some go forward as well. So it's a big loss for us. So we'll just have to make a decision on terms of how we sort of look at the balance of the back row going forward, and in particular for next week.
Thank you. On the left.
Hi, Warren. You said you wanted Louis Rees-Zammit to have more of the ball, and obviously that kind of saved Wales in the second half today. And secondly, of all the players you've coached, is he the one you'd want most with a chip and chase 50 yards out?
Yeah, I'd like to see him with a little bit more ball in hand and having a bit of a crack. But you see the pace he's got, and he's very skillful for that kick and chase, and the ball's in front of him, and he's still a player with a huge amount of potential in terms of the amount of growth he's got going forward. Still young. We think he can get better and better as a player. The pleasing thing from our point is that I do have a bit of a joke with him every day that I think he's almost 6 weeks now without missing a training session. He's been training every day. That probably was his downfall in the past, that he'd get a bit of a tight back or a sore hamstring or a sore calf and miss a training session. I don't know whether that was because he wasn't fit enough, or but we just think we get the best out of him by him playing regularly, and the fact that he's been training every day. I think we're starting to see the real benefits of that, and like I said, he's still got a huge amount of uplift in where he can go as an international player, which is really exciting for us.
Thank you.
In terms of potential replacements for Toby, is Aaron Wainwright someone who you may move across, or who might be the options to potentially call up?
Look, we've had a little discussion about that. We know Tommy Reffell was excellent today. We know we've got 2 outstanding sevens. Do you look at that as an option, but then that takes away from somebody else, and maybe your line-out options aren't quite as strong. It may depend on who the quarter-final opponent is, what we potentially decide to do. That'd probably be Aaron moving to number 8, and then seeing what the makeup of the back row is going to be.
Thank you. On the left.
You mentioned before this tournament that you would shock some people. I think getting as many points as you have done so far, you've probably done that to quite a few. You mentioned you don't feel like you've perhaps had the credit you deserve so far in this tournament. So how satisfying is it to be sat here as pool winners going into the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I mean, we won a pool in 2019, so to repeat that is from where we were, I think there's a lot of credit to the players and the work that they've put in, and the coaches and all the support staff. When I look back, and I think we can be pretty proud as a nation of what we've done in the last 4 World Cups. We've won 14 of those 16 games in our pool, and the very first one was against South Africa. We lost 16-15, and still dispute whether James Hook's kick went over. And then we've lost in a tight contest against Australia in 2-15, when we probably should have put that game away when they were down to 13 men. So I think as a group of players and everyone, we're going to be proud of what we've achieved. And a big part of that is that I've continually stressed about when we've been together as a group and we've had the time together, the preparation, we've done the hard work, we've done the conditioning. We've definitely built a lot of confidence from that as a team, and that's helped us in preparation for World Cups. And so we knew last week that we were already in the quarterfinals. That probably made today a little bit of a challenge, because even though we've had good preparation and training, there probably wasn't quite the edge that we had against, say, Fiji and against Australia, but the boys were good enough to get the job done, and that's sometimes when you see real progress in teams, and so we can go away and we can be happy about today, knowing that it was a little bit ugly at times and we were under a bit of pressure, but we were good enough to get the job done, and we can start focusing on the quarter-final.
Thank you.
To the captain, I'm a Japanese media. Which do you like to play against Japan or Argentina? And please tell us your impression of Japan.
Yeah, look, I think as Gas alluded to earlier, we'll watch the game tomorrow, but there's no team we'd rather play against or wouldn't rather play against. I think both teams are playing some great rugby in this tournament. I think since Japan shocked the world, beating South Africa a couple of World Cups ago, they've just developed as a rugby country, and they're playing some great rugby at the minute. They're very proud to play for their country, and you can see that, and it's evident in the rugby that they play. That never say die attitude. But I think there's no preferred team for us to play. Whoever it is that we play against, we'll prepare well for that game, and go from there.
Thank you at the back.
Hi Warren, I was just clarifying something you said earlier with the injuries. Were you suggesting that if Gareth Anscombe is only might be fit in a week or two, that you would consider bringing a 10 cover in for Talupe? Is that the thinking you were suggesting?
No, I was thinking about other backs. We've got 2 other 10s that are here. We did contemplate during today to bring Gareth Davies on and put Thomas Williams to 10. He has trained there at 10 for us on a couple of occasions, so that was one of the things. We had Dan Bigger on the bench as a precautionary backup if we needed to bring him on. We didn't have to do that as the game progressed, so it won't be probably at this stage bringing another 10 out unless he's completely ruled out. And then again, it's trying to find what's the best fit in terms of players that are carrying little knocks and injuries, whether someone does fit in as a replacement. So we're not thinking about another 10 at this stage.
This was the dilemma you suffered in 2019 where just players get injured. It's a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think I spoke before the game about we pretty much had a full bill of health in terms of going into next week having the whole 33 that we hoped after today we're going to be fully fit, and then we lose Gareth during the warm-up, and unfortunately we lost Faletau as well, which is disappointing, but we're probably in a better position than we have been in the past sometimes, and that's a key for us, trying to keep our players as fit as we can and not pick up too many injuries. But it's the same for every team. We've seen injuries being picked up in a lot of teams. Georgia have had their injury issues as well, and in terms of players going back. So just hope, fingers crossed, we don't pick up too many more.
Thank you.
Quentin Put, Midi Olympique. A question for Dewi, maybe. There was this little fight. Twice you wanted for you tried the points and not going for a try. How important was it to win this game? We sense you very tense. It was very tense, wasn't it?
No, I don't think there was anything tense. I think it's just part and parcel of the game. Both teams are giving their all, putting their bodies on the line for their country. But yeah, I think to get the win, the 5 points is big for us in terms of going 4 from 4 in the group stages, and we spoke about building momentum and getting better and better as games gone on, and to pick the win up and keep our form and our momentum building into this quarter-final is exactly what we wanted to do. For next week, yeah, to win today's game and keep that momentum building into next week's game is big for us, yeah.
Thank you. Last question, then we'll go to the Welsh questions.
Hi, Dewey. Is Louis still surprising you?
Who, sorry?
Louis Rees-Zammit.
Yeah, I think, you know, sometimes you look at him and it doesn't look like he's putting any effort in running. I think when I try to run that quick, it probably doesn't look as smooth or silky. But yeah, you know, the effort he puts in defensively, the growth that he's had on that side of things. You know, he's always been a very dangerous attacking player. You know, we've seen that through a number of years. But I think, you know, the way he gets on the end of kicks and, you know, his effort-based work in terms of chasing kicks and you know, wanting to be the first player to the ball has been huge for us, and it paid dividends for us today with his hat-trick. And I think, you know, he impressed a lot of people today.
Thank you. And at the back for the Welsh questions.
Yn y cefn fan hyn, ni newydd glywed y newyddion gan Warren ynglyn ag anafiadau. Siwr ych chi'n prosesu y ffaith na fydd Talupe Faletau ar gael, gymaint yw I bresenoldeb a ystyried falle fi chi heb Gareth Anscombe yn ogystal?
Ie, wrth gwrs, mae'n anodd. Mae Gareth di batlon fawr da anafiadau hefyd. I fod nôl am y cwpan y byd yma, mae wedi gweithio'n mor galed. So, obviously, ni ddim yn ymwybodol o pa mor gweld mae hynny. Ond, ie, gyda colli a Faletau, ie, mae'n gwael I ni fel 33. Ond ni'n tîm sy gyda depth dda nawr yn llawer o positions gwahanol. So, rwy'n siŵr bydd rhywun yn gallu sort mewn a wneud y job yna.
Ac yn ail a'n ola, nawr bod chi wedi ennill y grŵp, chi wedi chwarae 4, ennill 4, 19 pwynt mas o 20. Beth yw dy asesiad I o safbwynt y 4 gêm, ac o edrych mlaen nawr I Marseille, bod chi ddim yn gwybod pwy chi'n mynd I warae yn y rownd yr 8 ola?
Ie, yn credu, mae dal llefydd ni'n gallu gwella ar ôl heddi. Roedd 20 munud yn y canol na bach yn drop-off lle roedd Georgia wedi dod nôl o ni. Ni'n ymwybodol sut fath y tîm yw Georgia. Maen nhw ddim yn mynd I roi lan. Maen nhw wastad mynd I fod yna a ceisio dod atho chi yn credu y 20 munud yn y canol na. Bach o drop-off o egni o ni a y gêm di arafu lawr bach. Ond fel ni di siarad am yw adeiladu momentum a cadw mlaen I chwarae'r gêm ni moyn chwarae a dyle hynny dod mewn wythnos nesaf wedyn.
Diolch ti.
Diolch.
Fantastic. That's a wrap. Thank you very much, everybody. The mix zone is now open.